Okay, just have a look at these pictures. You can see Madam Kama, Rani Lakshmibai, Kasturba Gandhi, Aruna Asif Ali, different women leaders, those who have actively participated in Indian freedom struggle. So women had participated extensively in the freedom struggle. Women have also made important contributions in all the fields in the post-independence period too. Like after independence, so India's women, they have given their contributions in all the fields after the independence period also. That is what we will study in this chapter also, and the laws enacted for the women and other weaker sections. We will see the laws which government have enacted for the betterment of women and other weaker sections. We'll see in this chapter. So the term women empowerment is all about authority or the power embarked on women, okay? Giving power to women, right? So the power embarked on women sharing indistinguishable rights means women should share equal rights what men is having. The term refers to the liberation of women from socio-economic restraints of reliance. Women comprise around 50% of the country's population, and the bulk of them stays economically dependent. Like among half population is of female. Okay, so 50%, around 50% of the country's population is female, and it stays economically independent on each other without employment. In the age of feminism, a small portion of women in India are freed and can employ their free will and are permitted to carve out their lives the way they want. Okay, so because of the freedom, like now women can do whatever they want, or they can choose whichever field they want. They have their own rights, they have their own decisions, own opinions now. But there is a considerable division of the women in this nation who require optimistic support. Okay, but it is not uh, everywhere like this, but somewhere there is need of awareness. In most Indian, like in Indian villages, in most Indian villages and semi-urban cities, women are still denied fundamental education and are never authorized to continue higher education despite amassing the understanding required. Okay, so this in some villages also, like women are still behind. They want to move forward. They want to educate themselves. Okay, they want to work also, but due to some mentality or some limitations, women are still behind in the villages or semi-urban cities. Women are known for delivering multiple roles effortlessly per day. You can see in the pictures also, like women, working women is there. They are working, cooking, okay, playing with the children. Okay, they are having multiple roles effortlessly per day, and thus they are considered as the backbone of every society. Living in male-dominating societies, women play a wide range of roles, such as caring mothers. Now, these are the roles played by the women, like caring mothers, loving daughters, capable colleagues. The best part is that they fit the bill perfectly in every role. Nonetheless, they have also stood as a neglected bunch of society in different parts of the world. Though they are neglected by society in the different parts of the world. In turn, it has resulted in women surviving the brunt of unevenness, financial trustworthiness, oppression, and distinct social evils. So when we study the condition of women in India, we realize that the roots of several of the problems they face lie in the mentality of men. Okay, whatever root problems, whatever from where the problem is beginning, that is the mind of the men, mentality of the that is the root cause of several problems, like the condition of the women in India. We realize that the roots of several of problems they face lie in the mentality of men. Even in the 21st century, we have not been able to rid ourselves of this male-centered mentality. Till now also, like male-centered mentality, we are not able to rid of that. Vinoba Bhave made use of women power in the Bhudan movement, which he had started placing his faith in Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy. Okay, you can see in the picture Vinoba Bhave, and some movement is there, Bhudan movement. You can see the next picture. Non-violence is a weapon of the strongest philosophy he acquired for using this movement. Bhudan movement started by Acharya Vinoba Bhave in 1951 in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so in year 1951 in Andhra Pradesh, Bhudan movement was started by Acharya Vinoba Bhave. Now, Bhudan, it refers to gifting of land by big landlords to the landless farmers. Okay, the name itself, Bhu means land and Dan means donation. Okay, so it refers to gifting of land by big landlords to the landless farmers, the poor farmers, those who are not having land. Okay, so in this movement, poor farmers were gifted land by big landlords or big owners of the land. The movement aimed at reducing unequal distribution of land among the farmers. So there was unequal distribution, like farmers, they were not having land, or they were growing crops on somebody else's land. So there was unequal distribution. So to reduce this, a movement was started. Villages were also gifted, called the Gramdan, by big zamindars. Okay? So the zamindars who were owning big lands, they have gifted their land to villages also. It was called as Gramdan. So in this movement, women also actively participated. Women volunteers carried the message of Bhudan to all parts of India. Okay, so from village to village, from city to city, or in all parts of India, this message was spread. Okay, like women volunteers carried this message of Bhudan to all parts of India. So we have seen the first movement was that Bhudan movement, where women actively participated. Women played a significant role in the Telangana peasants' armed struggle, which challenged the rule of the Nizam and the feudal system. Okay, so women was participating against Nizam also, like after independence also, the Nizam rule was still going on. So in that struggle, women also played a significant role. You can see the first picture also, like they are using some arms, they are getting trained with the guns and all, arms and all. Okay, so they have challenged the rules of Nizam and the feudal system. Now, what is feudalism in India? A similar system existed under the Mughal Empire, though it was not referred to as feudal. Like emperors rule, zamindars, then merchants, peasants. So women played a significant role in the Telangana peasants' armed struggle which challenged the rule of the Nizams and the feudal system. As the region became free from bonded labor, women also found freedom from this torment. manifestation of women power. Now, women who have to face the brunt of scarcity of supplies and rising prices gave a show of their strength as an organized entity in 1972. Under the leadership of the socialist leader Mrinal Gore, women in Mumbai participated in demonstration which came to know and came to be known as the Latine Morcha, the rolling pin demonstration. Okay, when the prices of commodities were increasing, like when women have to face that scarcity of supplies. Okay, as the prices was high and the supply was low, so the women have to face both the scarcity of supplies also and the rising price also. It's the high price of the commodities and less supply of the commodities or essential needs. Okay, so this gave to rise and movement under the leadership of Mrinal Gore, and that demonstration was known as Latne Morcha. Okay, the rolling pin demonstration. Commodities like oil, ghee, rava, maida would become scarce just as Diwali was near at hand. Okay, so these things like oil, ghee, rava, maida, they are used on large scale in Diwali for making sweets and all. Okay, so as this uh, demand is high, so what happened that price was they made these things at very expensive prices, such as kerosene also. It had become very expensive. All these essential things like oil, ghee, rava, maida, uh, they became they came in less. Supply was also less, and the cost was very high. So women came together, brandishing their rolling pins, and took part in the demonstration. So with the you can see in the second and third picture, the women holding the rolling pins, latne, or you can call a rolling pin. Okay, women came together, brandishing their rolling pins, and took part in the demonstration. This movement met with success, and the public got a glimpse of the united power of the women. So when these women with their rolling pin, when they took a demonstration, all things were set right, and people met, and these women achieved success, and all the people of India came to know the power of united women. When women come together, okay, they can do anything. The Chipko movement, next movement was the Chipko movement. Another show of constructive women power was seen during the Chipko movement in 1973. Trees from the forest in the foothills of the Himalayas were to be cut down for the commercial purposes. Okay, this movement was against cutting trees, against like forests were cut down for commercial purposes. Okay, or setting up factories, for taking the wood, any purpose, the forests were being cut down. So the people from Himalaya, like they never wanted these trees to cut down, so they are embracing the trees. You can see the picture, first picture. All the people are holding the tree. In the second, they have encircled the tree. Ladies, women have encircled the tree by holding their hands. Okay. So we'll see Chandi Prasad Bhatt and Sundarlal Bahugana had started a movement to prevent this. So the Chipko movement was started by Chandi Prasad Bhatt and Sundarlal Bahugana to cutting of trees. Women followed the strategy of holding hands and encircling each tree. as their method consisted of protecting the tree by embracing it. The movement came to be known as the Chipko movement. Why it is known as to be Chipko movement? In the picture, you can see women have embraced the tree, okay, by holding each other in a circle. So this to protect the tree, okay, they have embraced the tree to protect it. So this movement is known as the Chipko movement. Women took part in it in large numbers. Okay, so in this movement, the number of participation of women was quite large. Women had a big role to play in the agricultural economy of this region. Gaura Devi was the activist who created this awareness among the women with the help of Sudesha Devi and Bachali Devi. Okay, these two women activists, they have created the awareness among the women, okay, about the importance of trees, about the saving the trees and the protection of the trees. So this was about Chipko movement. Now next movement is about anti-liquor movement. Now you can see the picture also. What is anti-liquor movement? Anti means against, and the liquor is the alcohol or consumption of alcohol. Anti, this movement is of against against consuming liquor or consuming alcohol. So why this movement was started? Okay, we'll see. In 1992 in Andhra Pradesh, a movement was started against the drinking of alcohol. This anti-liquor movement was started in 1992 against the drinking of alcohol. Like the people used to consume alcohol, drink alcohol. Okay, so what was the effects on the families or in the society? So was something wrong? Okay, so this movement started against the drinking of alcohol. It received a good response in other states too. Okay, in Andhra Pradesh it started, but its response was quite good in other states also. Okay, other states also appreciated uh, this anti-liquor movement. When the head of the household dies an untimely death due to the addiction to alcohol, the family faces a serious crisis which affects women the most. Okay, so head of the family is male, like a father or a husband. Okay, so if he consumes or if he's addicted to liquor or addicted to alcohol and if he dies untimely death due to some disease or some lungs disease or cancer, anything, okay, because of consumption of alcohol, if he dies untimely death, so what will happen? The family will have to bear, uh, the family will have to face many problems like financial problems, and who will take care of the family, okay, their education, their basic needs like food and all. So family has to face a certain crisis or serious crisis, we can say like this, which affects women the most. Okay, now if the male dies, then the responsibility, the head of the family, if the husband dies, then the responsibility of the family will be on the women, on the wife. Okay, so women has to face this problem the most. Due to alcoholism, they have to deal with extreme sorrow and poverty. Because of this alcoholism, women have to face extreme sorrow and poverty. Okay. This movement got the support of the anti-Iraq movement in Andhra Pradesh. Iraq is liquor only, alcohol. Okay, so this movement got the support of the anti-Iraq movement in Andhra Pradesh. So in this, it was a women's movement, anti-Iraq movement, a women's movement in Nellore district in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, it's a district in Andhra Pradesh called Nellore, and you can see in the picture participation of women. Okay, this movement is carried out by women, that is anti-Iraq movement. As a result of a government policy, Iraq, a locally produced alcohol dealer, set up a shop in every town and village. You can see a small picture of liquor shop, alcohol shop. You can see in the picture on the left side. Small shop is there, alcohol shop. Okay. So as a result of a government policy, Iraq, a locally produced alcohol dealers set up shop in every town and village. Now this alcohol shop was open in every small town and small villages also. So the poor laboring people began to get addicted to alcohol. So what happened? The laborers, those who were working, poor laborers, they have started consuming the alcohol and began to take it, or they they got addicted to it. Okay. At the same time, a literacy program was being run in the village of the state. Okay, same time, a literacy program means a program to educate or give some knowledge was being run in the village of that state. The Sitama Katha, Sita's story, was narrated as a part of this program. It was story about Sita who create awareness among the people of a village and gets alcohol to be banned from the village. Okay, so some story was played. Okay, in that role of Sita was that uh, she creates awareness among the people of a village to stop alcohol. Okay, and gets alcohol to be banned from the village. In 1992, three youths of Dubunganta village of Nellore district in Andhra Pradesh drowned in a lake in a state of inebriation and died. Okay, so three young boys or youths, we can say, three youths of some village of Nellore district in Andhra Pradesh, they were drowned because they were drunk. They have consumed alcohol. They were drunk and they drowned in a lake. Okay, and they died. Okay. So at this instance, the women of the village came together because of this example, because of this certain death. Okay, because of alcohol only. Okay, alcohol. Because of alcohol, this death took place, right? The three youths were drowned in a lake. So, taking this example, the women of the village came together and forced the closure of Iraq shops. Okay, then these women forced the shops to close it. The report of this news in the local newspapers had so the movement spread to the entire state, and the government had to adopt a strict policy against the sale of alcohol. Okay, this news spread everywhere, and the government had adopted a strict policy against the selling of alcohol. Next is International Women's Year. So the United Nations had declared 1975 as the International Women's Year. So the United Nations, an international organization, it had declared 1975 as the International Women's Year. The three aspects of this program were peace, development, and equality between men and women. What are the three aspects of this program? Like peace, development, equality, and equality between men and women. In 1975, the Government of India constituted the Committee on the Status of Women and appointed Dr. Phul Renu Guha as its chairman. So in 1975, Dr. Phul Renu Guha became the chairman for the status of women. A comprehensive survey was conducted of several issues such as the social position of women, their status, the consequences of the constitutional provisions made for women, as also education of women and its percentage, their progress due to education, difficulties faced by working women, the position of women with respect to work, livelihood, their wage, means relative to men's wages, the female-male ratio, birth and mortality rates, and the role of women. A comprehensive survey. Now, survey was carried out to found like the position of the women, like what is the position of the women in the society, is their status. Okay. Now, the consequence of the constitutional provisions means like what government has, what provisions are made for the women, and what is their education, like how many women are educated in the society, how many women are uneducated. Then what is the percentage of women's education, their progress due to education, like because of education, what is the progress of the women. Now, what are the difficulties faced by the working women? Then the position of women with respect to work, with respect to what is their wages, okay, like salary with respect to men's wage, the female male ratio, like per thousand males, how many females, birth, mortality rates, and the role of women. So a comprehensive survey was conducted of several issues of the women. Taking into consideration this entire background, a statewide conference for women was held in 1975, organized by the Stree Mukti Sangharsha Samiti. Okay. So all this survey was taken, then state and that was organized by Stree Mukti Sangharsha Samiti. So women from all walks of life, regions participated in it. The Samiti published its manifesto in 1978. Okay, so in this Samiti, women from every corner or of the region, they participated. The policy of a struggle against discrimination on the basis of gender, caste, and varna was adopted. Okay, what was the policy? The struggle, like the women face problems, issues on the basis of gender, caste, and varna. So the policy against this was adopted. This gave rise to a collection of songs called Stree Mukti Chi Lalkari. Okay, because of this, it gave rise to a collection of songs called Stree Mukti Chi Lalkari, a street play called Mulgi's Hali Hu by Jyoti Mapsekar, and a periodical Excuse me. This gave rise to a collection of songs called Stri Mukti Chi Lalkari, a street play called Mulgi Zali Ho by Jyoti Mahapsekar, and a periodical called Prerak Lalkari, which became their mouthpiece and other such programs. Now, periodical, what is periodical? A magazine, a weekly newspaper, also a weekly magazine that is called a periodical, called Prerak Lalkari, which became the mouthpiece and other such programs. So awareness programs, you can see periodical Prerak Lalkari, okay, and some skit is also, you can see the picture, some play is going on, and Stri Mukti Sangharsh Samiti, women are speaking. In the picture you can see some act is going on, okay, street play called Mulgi Jhali. In 1977, groups like Stri Mukti Andolan Samiti established by Saudamini Rao in Pune. Okay, a group called Stri Mukti Andolan Samiti was established in 1977 by Saudamini Rao in Pune. Bayaja, a fortnightly, as also Sri Uvach Maitrin and Sri Anyay Virodi Manch in Aurangabad. Okay, so in Aurangabad also some groups like Sri Uvach Maitrin, Sri Anyay Virodi Manch, like these platforms were formed. Mahila Dakshata Samiti in Kolhapur, Mahila Hakka in Nashik, and Nari Prabodhan Manch in Latur were formed. These were the groups in different cities which was formed. Anti-dowry protection committees were formed all over Maharashtra. Now, anti-dowry, what is dowry? Giving of certain or huge amount of money at the time of women's or a girl's marriage. Okay, when a girl is getting married, what happens? The female side or bride side gives certain amount to bridegroom. Just a minute. Okay, so giving and taking dowry, giving and taking dowry now it is banned, and it's considered as a crime. Okay, so anti-dowry protection committees were formed all over Maharashtra. A conference to protest against oppression of women was organized in Dhule city. So to run this operation against dowry, it was organized in Dhule city. Vidya Bal's periodical Nari Samta Manch and Milun Saryajani, as also the work of the Samajwadi Mahila Sabha and the Krantikari Mahila Sangatna were of great help in dealing with the women's issues. The employment guarantee scheme in Maharashtra also helped to empower women. Now the government have also guaranteed the job of the women. In this scheme, the job guarantee was given, the employment of the women. So it helped in the betterment of the women. It helped to empower women. You can see in the picture Employment Guarantee Scheme 1972. This scheme was started in Maharashtra in 1972. The main objective of the scheme was to provide guaranteed employment to all adult persons who volunteer to do unskilled manual work in rural areas. Pramila Dandavate established the Mahila Dakshata Samiti in Delhi in 1976. So one committee was formed, that is Mahila Dakshata Samiti in 1976 by Pramila Dandavate. Branches of the Samiti came up in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab. So in Delhi, it was established, and its branches was also open in other states also, like Andhra Pradesh and all. It was started in Delhi, but it also opened its branches in other states. Mahila Dakshata Samiti by Pramila Dandavate. The Communist Party established the Akhil Bharatiya Janwadi Mahila Sangatna in 1980. Okay, women group was formed, that was Akhil Bharatiya Janwadi Mahila Sangatna in 1980. Efforts were made to start branches of this organization in all parts of India. Okay, so this group, they wanted it should be started in all. This group of organizations should be started in all parts of India. So efforts were made to start its branches. The Sangatna started a struggle against issues like dowry, female feticide. Female feticide means abortion of a female child, domestic abuse. Research on women's issues was undertaken at various levels. So what serious issues were there, like women was facing? Research was done at various level. Okay, in the picture you can see in the second picture you can see a female is tortured, women is tortured. Then in the second picture you can see dowry system in India. Okay, a girl is at the time of her marriage, she is giving such a huge amount and things like gold and car to the husband. So giving and taking dowry is crime. And in the next picture, you can see female feticide, abortion of female. The last picture is of Akhil Bharatiya Janwadi Mahila Samiti. Now, women studies centers were started at the first women university, the Srimati Nathibai Damodar Thakur say SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. Like women's school is there, or girls' school is there, or girls' colleges are there. So in the same way, women's university is also there. So it was first started at Mumbai, SNDT Women's University, Mumbai, and at Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, Savitribai Phule University, and Shivaji University, Kolhapur. These centers played an important role in critical analysis and in developing a vision on issues. So these centers played an important role, like what critical problems women are facing. Okay. Okay. So in this today's session, this was the first session of this chapter, and we will see some related question answers. In 1992, a movement against drinking alcohol was started in. It's fill in the blank you have to fill, or you can take a screenshot also of this question answers if you want. Explain the following statements with reason. The evolution of the women's liberation movement. You have to give reason. What is the reason for the evolution of the women's liberation? The United Nations had declared 1975 as the International Women's Year. In 1975, the government of India constituted the Committee on the Status of Women and appointed Dr. Fulrenu Goha as its chairman. A comprehensive survey was conducted on several issues such as the social position of women, their status, the consequences of the constitutional provisions made for women, as also education of women and its percentage, their progress due to education, difficulties faced by working women, the position of women with respect to work, livelihood, their wages, the female-male ratio, birth and mortality rate, and the role of women. Taking into consideration this entire background, a statewide conference for women was held in 1975, organized by Stree Mukti Sangharsh Samiti. Women from all walks of life, regions participated in it. The Samiti published its manifesto in 1978. The policy of a struggle against discrimination on the basis of gender, caste, and varna was adopted. In 1977, groups like the Stree Mukti Andolan Samiti established by Saudamini Rao in Pune, Bayaja, a fortnightly also Stree Uvach, Maitrin, and Stree Anyay Virodi Manch in Aurangabad, Mahila Dakshata Samiti in Kolhapur, Mahila Hakka in Nashik, and Nari Prabodhan Manch in Latur were formed. Anti-dowry protection committees were formed all over Maharashtra. A conference to protect against oppression of women was organized in Dhule city. Now, why 8th March was declared as International Women's Day? A demonstration was held in New York on 8th March 1857. It was the first demonstration by working women, and its demands were for fewer working hours, proper remuneration, provision of wages, etc. On 8 March 1909, women went on strike for the very same demand. That is why this day was declared as the Women's Struggle Day at the Women's Socialist International, a conference held in Denmark. The year 1975 was observed as the International Women's Year, and in 1977, 8th March was declared as International Women's Day by resolution passed in the General Assembly of the United Nations. Describe the Chipko movement. Now, what is Chipko movement? You have to describe it. The show of constructive women power was seen during the Chipko movement in 1973. Trees from the forest in the foothills of the Himalayas were to be cut down for commercial purposes. Chandi Prasad Bhatt and Sundarlal Bahuguna had started a movement to prevent this. Chandi Prasad Bhatt and Sundarlal Bahuguna had started a movement to prevent this. Women followed the strategy of holding hands and encircling each tree. So, what was the strategy of the women to stop the trees? Okay, to stop the cutting down of the trees. They they holded their hands and encircle each tree. The women followed the strategy of holding hands and encircling each trees, as their method consisted of protecting the tree by embracing it. Okay, so what was their method? Their method was embracing the tree. Okay, like they are protecting the tree by holding it, by embracing it. The movement came to be known, this movement came to be known as Chipko movement. Women took part in large numbers. Women had a big role to play in the agricultural economy of this region. Gaura Devi was the activist who created this awareness among the women with the help of Sudesha Devi and Sachani Devi. This is all you have to write about Chipko movement. Next is write a note on the manifestation of women power. Women who have to face the brunt of scarcity of supplies and rising prices gave a show of their strength as an organized entity in 1972. Under the leadership of socialist leader Mrinal Gore, women in Mumbai participated in a demonstration which came to be known as the Latne Morcha, the rolling pin demonstration. Commodities like oil, ghee, rava, maida would become scarce just as Diwali was near at hand. Kerosene would become very expensive. Women came together brandishing their rolling pins and took part in the demonstration. This movement met with success and the public got a glimpse of the united power of women. I think time is up. I'll stop here. The remaining lesson